So what's up YouTube, welcome to another video from my channel. I am Ankit Banerjee and you're watching It's Your Bike Ankit. Now today in this video I'm riding the KTM Duke 125. Now this is the smallest capacity motorcycle from the house of KTM, and at the same time it's the least powerful motorcycle. So it shares its platform from the bigger Duke 200, which I already reviewed, and the Duke 250, and to some extent the Duke 390 also. Now coming to the power figures of this motorcycle, this gets power from a 124.7cc DOHC single cylinder motor, which produces about 14 bhp of power and 12 newton meters of torque. The compression ratio of this motorcycle is very high, that's why it's producing about 14 bhp of power, unlike any other 125cc. It's the most powerful 125cc motorcycle that you can buy in the market. Now coming to another part of this KTM Duke 125 is that the power delivery. As you can see, I am in the second gear, I'm on a roll. Now let me get a better pass. You have power on tap, but the thing is that you don't get to see that much punch. If you consider other KTMs, the posture and the aggressiveness you have on this motorcycle, you don't get to see that much punch. If you consider the price segment, you get better motorcycles, but it has its own charm, it had its own appeal. Is the smallest way to enter the KTM riding community. So that's the thing. It's not as much powerful as any other motorcycle of this segment, say for the Apache RTR 200 4V or even the NS 200. They are much more in displacement and power, but the thing is that what you get with this motorcycle is high quality, premiumness, and the brand value of KTM. And that's the thing, that's the whole scene, and that's the money you're paying for. Coming to another thing that this motorcycle has is the single channel ABS. So it's effective in the front wheel, and now it's a very good unit. KTM has always been for sharper brakes, so yeah, it's a good unit. And the rear one is doesn't have ABS, that why it does this. So yeah, that's the thing. So yeah, the rear does skid its wheels. Now let's get to a better road and let's roll with it in a better way. Now the horn is pretty good, and if you ride it in day-to-day traffic, it's good for a sporty commuter. It does make sense in that aspect. And now it's a pretty sporty motorcycle, and if you consider overtakes are a piece of cake. Yeah, it's like drop a gear and disappear kind of thing. KTM has always been like that. Now it's a very nimble machine. It's very useful and a very nimble machine. Another thing that is good about this motorcycle, it has a 6-speed gearbox, and the gear shifts are as smooth as you can expect from a KTM. They are good, they are crisp. It doesn't have any fancy gizmos, but yeah, the brakes are very good actually. For the lightness of this motorcycle, the brakes are very good, and unlike any other KTM, it barely have any sort of heating issue while you ride in the city. This ride quality is kind of stiff, but yeah, it's easier than the first generation KTMs that I saw. Actually, it's softer than that. The ride height is about 800 mm, which is okay for a rider like me. I am 5 feet and 8 inches, and the handlebar that you can see is a complete street naked kind of handlebar, and it does a good job. It's quite wide and good, provides good leverage at the same time. Now let me get off the road and see what it can actually do. Let's see, let's roll over this off-road. Okay, KTM. Yeah, goes well upon the off-road. Now this is the exact same location that you saw in my previous video with the Hero Extreme 160R. Now let's show you the beauty. Now that's the beauty of the KTM Duke 125. This has this halogen headlamp with this DRLs. Now the person who owns this motorcycle has put up a red tape on the DRLs. It looks quite dope. Now the biggest thing for a 125cc motorcycle is to have this one. This is the only 125cc motorcycle in India that has this 43mm chunky WP forks at the front. It has this big rotor, big Biber brakes. It has a single channel ABS, and the whole appeal of the Duke 200 on its design is completely packed up and given to this motorcycle. As you can see, Duke 125 written here. Now the switchgear is extremely premium, as you can see, and it's backlit. That's another boon. Now coming to the instrument cluster, so you have the normal instrument cluster that you got in the first generation KTM, and it is continuing till date, but it looks outdated right now, but the information it gives is actually very much, if you consider. So you have the telltale lights here, you have ABS indicator, you have this immobility sensor, this is the mode, this is the tachometer, the horizontal tachometer, you have the gear position indicator, you have speedo, you have info button, you have the side stand down sensor which will cut off the engine automatically, you have this fuel meter, you have this heat meter, you have this time and whatnot. This is actually loaded. You have an odometer, and this is the mode button. You have this odo here, so you can see the fuel range. You have this trellis frame, orange color trellis frame, which is absolutely brilliant if you consider the performance this motorcycle offers. It has this premium aspect throughout its body which is going on. I can't actually explain how much detail and how much good of a 125cc motorcycle this is. Now this is a BS6 model. As you can see, it's a brand new motorcycle. You have this one catcon and another catcon is hidden here. So yeah, that's another catcon. So there is this long aluminium swing arm which is brilliant. You have the 150 section rear tire is from MRF. These are Revs. That's the beautiful LED tail lamp. You have this big grab handles. Now coming to the grab handles that I actually shown you, it integrated with the design so well that you wouldn't find it. Now coming to the seat height, it's 800 mm, but as you can see, look at this, the seat actually sinks quite a bit. It's not as much hard as the other KTMs. So pillion seat is also wide. It's wider than my hand, and that's a very good thing actually. If you consider the first generation KTM, it almost did not had a pillion seat. So yeah. Now coming to the ground clearance, it has about 160 mm of ground clearance, which is enough to clear all the bumps. You have seen my previous off-road kind of thing which I did. So let me get to the verdict of this motorcycle. So guys, this was my review upon the KTM 125 Duke. Now this is a pretty good motorcycle for about 1,75,000 rupees. I'm saying this pretty good because if you consider the KTM brand and its values and the community or even the quality of product they are offering, especially this chunky upside down forks or the Duke 200 like design, and if you really want to have a premium motorcycle, go for it. But if you are looking for performance, I would say don't go for it. It's not meant for performance, it's for commuting. There are better options in the segment overall. So you have the NS200 or the Apache RTR 204 with as the best 200cc motorcycle, and you can also get the RS200 or the Dominar 250 if you pay 10 to 15,000 rupees more. So if you are on a budget and you badly want a KTM, go get this one. Otherwise it's not a very convincing purchase. It's my personal preference that I would take a test drive before buying a new motorcycle. So I would always ask you to take a test drive, and especially if you're going to own this motorcycle, then definitely go take a test ride, because the performance won't convince you for the price you pay. So that was my verdict upon this motorcycle. Hope you liked the video. So like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification button in order to get all the updates from It's Your Bike Keith. Hope you liked the video. Hope to see you soon in the next video. So goodbye.